Today's video is a bit different, but it's very personal and important to me. I want to tell you how I quit smoking, the benefits, the difficulties I faced, the challenges, and how it grew me mentally and physically and in my daily life. I won't go deep in the casual health benefits we all know, like it's bad for your lungs or you will live longer and that kind of stuff, because if you're smoking right now, you know you are not doing it for your health because of other reasons. So this video is about the real stuff, my journey, and maybe it helps on yours. I started smoking when I was around about 17, but the first cigarette I had was a bit before that. It was on a party and I was drunk. A friend of mine who was smoking offered me one. I was thinking about doing it and then I just said yes, because I'm a very curious person, and back then even more. So I took a puff and I tried it. Like everyone, I coughed a lot and it tasted like shit. But the feeling you get like within 1 second or 2 seconds was really good, and I kind of fell in love with it. And like many things in life, it didn't start as a habit. First only on parties, then only on your weekends, and bam, you're just buying your first cigarette package. I think when you're buying your first pack, I think that's the moment when you're getting addicted. Soon I was smoking 5, then 10, then 15, and then 20 cigarettes a day. It was round about a pack every day, but of course on parties or when I was drunk, even more. I remember those times when I was with friends and sneaking behind the school building, smoking a cigarette, and we feel like badass. Oh man, that was kind of cringe actually. Of course, it became a habit of mine. When I woke up, I was smoking a cigarette. When I was eating, before, while, after eating. When I was drinking a coffee, when I was waiting at the bus, or when I was bored or when I wanted to compensate something, I was smoking a cigarette. So on bad days it was more, and on good days kind of the same. I mean, when you're smoking, it tastes like concrete, pretty bad. That's how it smells too, so it's kind of bleh. But then something changed. I always wanted to work out. I always wanted to change my body to get stronger, get less fat, and be able to do something with my body. I always wanted to try fitness, but I never took it really seriously. And at some point I was just so unhappy with my body that I took the decisions to really go for it. And that's when things started to change. I went to the calisthenics park and just did a workout I saw online before on YouTube, and I kind of straight up fell in love with it. Pushing to your limit, feeling the burn, feeling the pump, and just giving all to the exercise, training till failure and that kind of stuff. I really, really loved it. And after just 2 weeks, I knew I was really gonna do this for a lifetime. At some point I added running to it because I wanted to have some kind of cardio within my fitness journey. At the beginning it started out pretty well. I made big progress, but after around 3 months of doing calisthenics and running, I noticed that smoking is kind of blocking my success, because I wasn't able to breathe as deeply as I could while running, and I just knew smoking, that is a limiting factor for my running and calisthenics experience. That's why I said, okay, I need to change something. I set myself a goal. I want to do a half marathon in a few months, and I want to try to quit smoking. But I didn't go cold turkey, because that could lead to a yo-yo effect, which means you try it, you don't succeed, you get back to smoking, and then you smoke even more. I didn't really want to do that because I've met a lot of people who tried it like that and they didn't succeed it, and it got even worse and worse. I thought about for a few days and I had a plan. During that time I was smoking and vaping, and I took the decision to just go full on vaping. I was doing my own liquid and I was able to control how much nicotine I want in the liquid. That's basically the little fluid you need if you want to vape. That transition wasn't that hard because I was vaping already, and like I said before, I can just put more nicotine in the liquid. But then it got harder. I was putting less and less nicotine into my liquid, and every time I decreased the nicotine, I noticed it. But it was absolutely doable. It wasn't like a big challenge. I still had my habits. Even though it was less nicotine, I was still having the same habits. I was vaping in the morning, I was vaping after a coffee and that kind of stuff. The hard part came when I went from vaping with little nicotine to no nicotine. I really felt it in my body and in my mind because there was no nicotine coming in anymore. I was sweating a bit more, I was a bit more stressed and sometimes a bit angry during that period. But I managed to do it. Then there was only one final step, to stop vaping completely. That was definitely the hardest part, but I tried to make it in my favor. So I took off a week of work and I had a lot to do in the garden at my house. So I thought that is the right moment. And in this 1 week, it was kind of rough. My sleep was pretty bad. I felt stressed most of the time. I was angry for no reason most of the time. Yeah, I took all my bad feelings and the things I didn't like during that period into the work in the garden. So if I was digging with my shovel, I did it pretty aggressively. But it worked out, and having like a week off of work helped a lot too. Oh, what I've noticed too was that I was eating a lot more. Just during that period, but I was eating a lot more. I'm gonna be honest, the first 3 days were awful. But after that, it's getting better and better. After 1 week, I still had a craving here and there, but only in specific situations when the habit kicked in, like in the morning, waiting at the bus station, when I was bored, you know, at that kind of moments. But after 3 weeks, I almost completely forgot that I was even smoking before. The thought of smoking vanished. No craving, no second thoughts, not at parties, not when I got drunk, not when people smoked near me, not even when someone offered me a cigarette, because the friend or whoever didn't even knew I stopped it. That was 3 years ago, and since then I never smoked a cigarette again, and I never even thought about smoking a cigarette again. Right after I quit smoking, my fitness journey exploded. Basically, I was running a lot faster and longer. I was able to breathe normally, if you know what I mean. Like, I got a lot more air inside and it felt just like a big boost in my endurance, in the exercises I did. I was able to go more till failure. It just improved basically everything. It felt almost like cheating. It was that big of a difference. One of my big fears was when I took the decision to quit smoking, thought maybe I'm gonna lose some friends or the opportunity to socialize as quick, because when you are smoking, you go to a party, you're just chilling with the smokers and you're in a circle, in a conversation, just like that. Trust me, you don't need cigarettes to socialize. It's basically the same. You can still go to the cigarette circle at a party. It makes no difference. I always fear that my circle, my friendships and my friend circles are changing. And that only changed because I wanted to, not because I stopped smoking. But because of my fitness journey, my habits, my goals, they shifted to something else. And that's how a lot of my friends and friend circles changed. Yeah, you will miss maybe those cigarette breaks at work. In Austria, that is a thing. At most works or companies, you can just have like a cigarette break. But trust me, you will really like to pay the price for what you get out of it. It's worth it. I'm telling you this, quitting cigarettes was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Actually, I've tried it once before when I was, I think, 3 years smoking, and I failed. And I think why I wasn't able to do is because I didn't have a strong enough reason to do it and I didn't believe in myself. But the second time, when I was able to do it, I had a very strong reason for it. I wanted to achieve something and I was believing more in myself because I know I was able to put consistent performance out there with my fitness journey. So if you're thinking about quitting cigarettes, find your reason to stop it. Maybe it is a child, maybe it is your fitness journey, maybe you just want to feel alive again, or you want to have like a little boost. Then it's the perfect goal, the perfect reason. But if you don't believe in yourself, don't worry, I believe in you. You can do it. It is absolutely possible. Just find yourself a reason and do it. I swear to God you can. That was my story, how I quit smoking. And if you got something out of this video, please consider hitting the like button, subscribing, and maybe write a comment, because I would be more than happy to know how you did it or how you want to do it, or what your reason is to stop smoking. And if you're interested in more travel and fitness content, check out my channel or this video. And I hope I see you in the next one.